Today, we're discussing clear communication requirements, communication between you and the department and you, and how you can make them or leverage them so that your process moves faster and smoother. Let's discuss. Hey, before we get started, we have two gifts down in the description for you. One is the Getting Started workshop. It's going to walk you through every phase of the hiring process. Go in there, there's some hidden bonuses, and you're going to have the knowledge you need to succeed in each phase so you know what's coming your way. You can better prepare for it. Additionally, if you have something specific to you, to your hiring process, any questions you want to have, jump on for a free coaching call. I'd be glad to sit down with you. We have extended hours. Use it. It's there for you. Please, I'm begging you, just use it. It's for you. Now, clear communication. What does that mean? Who does it pertain to? Do they need to communicate better with you? Do you need to communicate better with them? And the answer is all the above, right? Let's start with departments. It's no secret that they fail at this all the time. A lot of times you'll be waiting, you won't get follow-ups. It's not every department is this way, but a lot of departments, you're just wondering. You hurry up, you wait, you get all this stuff done, and they say, hey, we'll be in contact with you. Stand by. That is such a horrible recruitment process and attitude. And departments, I just saw articles on multiple states last week about departments saying their biggest threat to law enforcement right now is not having enough candidates coming through. But when you have a crappy recruitment process, it makes people not want to even apply. So a little tip for you there. Okay, anyway, yes, they have these hurry up and wait mentalities, and it's just horrendous, and there's no direct contact. And then they say, hey, don't contact us until we contact you. No, it's with technology these days, you can send out mass email saying, hey, you're still in the process, you're still under review, anything you want without having to worry about where you think you are in the process, right? Did I pass? Are they contacting me? Instead of worrying about all these success and micro indicators that I'm always telling you to look for. It'd be nice if departments would just come out and say it. But until we can make some changes there, and I'm working on it, hopefully this stuff will take traction and we'll be able to get more information out to departments. In the meantime, it's left to you, right? It's left to you to try and figure out, or for you to do the best you can to mitigate and manage the hiring process. And it's not ideal. It's never going to be easy, right? Because, we're giving law enforcement a lot of authority. So we have to have a rigorous hiring process. I don't think we should ever lower the standards. But that being said, we can make the process a whole lot smoother. So clear communication. Hopefully they're communicating clearly with you. Hopefully they've given you a point of contact for the way the process works right now. In that being said, how do you communicate clearly with them? One thing that I recently added to our online course and to our group coaching, well, to all our coaching really, was email templates to when to follow up. And I've mentioned this before that you want to follow up if you haven't heard anything around week 4, and you usually want to do it on a Monday. And there's all these reasons behind it I'm not going to get into right now, but there's a bunch of stuff that you want to wait 4 weeks because a lot of time it takes time to run through a background process or to get you scheduled out. Think about a doctor's appointment right now. If you were to try to schedule a doctor's appointment right now or become a new patient at a doctor, you're probably looking at a month or 2 wait, right? So it's the same concept, except they need to get you through a certain phase before they schedule your med or your psych or even your poly. All those things are going to apply. All those things are going to have an impact. Now, your clear communication, as I was mentioning before, those email templates allow you to follow up if you haven't heard anything in a while. But there's other clear communication. There's other clear, I don't know, sounds okay. There's other clear communication that you should probably be up to speed on. And that is the daily communication, or that rapport communication that you're going to build when responding to requests from them. Obviously, you always want to be professional. One of the first things they ever said in law school was that anytime you're dealing with your instructor, even though it's you both are a professional level, you still want to communicate directly and professionally with your law enforcement instructor, excuse me, not law enforcement instructor, your legal instructor, but I'm trying to think, not legal instructor. This is my mind only working one certain way here. Your, I don't want to say teacher, professor, your legal professor. That's the term I'm looking for. Articulation is not working for me today. Okay, so your legal professor, you want to communicate professionally when you're sending an email. It's not, hey, professor, what's going on? Hey, professor, this is Frank. How's it going? No, it's good morning, Professor so-and-so, or good morning, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, or however you want, or however they want you to address them. But it's good morning. This is such and such, just responding in reference to your request. I've attached the additional documents down below. Please advise if you need anything else. Very respectfully, Frank Magaha. Right? That is legal or not legal, excuse me. That is professional correspondence right there. And you always want to have that. And it's one thing you'd rather be said, hey, you're a little uptight, in a board interview or in your communication rather than you're too relaxed, right? Uptight is fine. That's fine. And when they ask you, simple answers that yes, this is an important profession to me. It means a lot. I want to show you my best self and I want to present my most professional self to you. You answer a question like that where someone says, hey, you're a little stiff. I appreciate the feedback. This is a very important profession to me. I want to present my best self to you, and that means I want to be as professional as possible. You say that to someone, to a board interview, to a chief, they're going to respect that no matter who it is. It doesn't matter. They're never going to say, hey, this person's too stiff opposed to this person's too relaxed. It's never going to happen. Now there's a happy medium in between where you're just portraying some confidence and charisma. We're working on that. We'll get you there. But big thing is that's the way you want to communicate. You want to maintain that professional demeanor. Don't ever send a simple text that just says, what's up? Or do you need anything from me? Or, hey, where am I at in the process? No, it's always good morning, good afternoon, and it should never be good evening because you shouldn't be bothering your hiring officials or your background investigator or anyone late in the evening when they're possibly doing dinner or something like that. Understand this, I'm giving you the generic aspect. If your background investigator is working nights and they say, hey, message me after this time, if you need to talk to me, that's different. I'm giving you a generality here because I can't accommodate every individual aspect unless you're on one of those free coaching calls. So keep that in mind. If they tell you to do something, do that, right? If they say, hey, just call me Frank, just call them Frank, but it's still professional. Hey, Frank, this is Frank, just responding. I attached those documents you asked me for in an email. I just wanted to follow up with a text. Respectfully, have a good day. End of story. That's simple. That's what you're looking for. That's the type of communication you want to use so that you can really leverage another way to present yourself in a positive light. Right? Just every time you communicate with them, you can always lose status. So you want to mitigate that as much as possible. So requirements, right? A lot of times they say, hey, don't message me or you'll hear from us. That's one thing. Of course, you listen to them, but at some point you're going a month in and you might be running, 2 or 3 departments at a time, hopefully, if you follow my method. But at that point in time, you're saying, hey, I'm filling out this other application. I haven't heard from you guys in a month. Am I still in the process? Because this other application is asking me, am I still in the process? And I haven't heard anything. Perfectly reasonable. At that point in time, if a month has went by from your last known correspondence or last known advancement in the process. And what I mean by that is if you've got a tip from a reference saying, hey, I just reached out or your background investigator just reached out, I just submitted my documentation. And then before that, 2 weeks before that, you heard that or you spoke with your background investigator, but then 2 weeks later, you start from that last known interaction, which would be with your reference. So keep that in mind. That's where you want to go through with that. There's a lot more that goes into this, but this is pretty much packaging it into a really, really tight grouping here for you, right? You want to make sure that you're going in, you're prepared to communicate with them, you're prepared for them not to communicate with you, and then you want to handle it as professionally as possible. This is going to make everything go a lot smoother, and it's going to give you milestones to hit. If you say, hey, the 4-week counter starts right now, you're looking forward to something, and you know that you can send a correspondence in 4 weeks, right? Always on a Monday, always in the morning as well. So I hope this helps. Those gifts are down in the description. The free Getting Started workshop walks you through every phase, gives you all those tips. There's those hidden bonuses in there as well. Additionally, the free coaching call. It's probably my most valuable resource. Sign up for it. We have additional hours. I'd be glad to sit down, help you as best I can. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.